Hey Aquarius, and welcome to your November 2016 General Tarot Forecast. My name is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully a very resounding and resonating reading for your November. So if this reading is really good for you guys, or you would like further clarification, or really any information about the energies that you're experiencing currently in your life, excuse me, you guys can go over to my shop, which is linked in the description box below, and you can see the process of booking a private reading with me, the prices, etc. And also, if you guys if you guys find this video interesting, you can subscribe or like or comment your own interpretation or your own experience with what's going on with these energies. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. So you guys have 3 major arcana cards in your reading, and for me, whenever there's 3 or more, I always think that it's going to be a very significant month. So those major arcana cards for you guys are Justice, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. And what that says to me is there's a lot of choices in November. These may have even been established for a little while now, and you've not really been able to make progress on your decision. There are so many paths. There are so many decisions. You could kind of feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. There could potentially be 4 or 5 like major life decisions that you're being faced with kind of all at once, or feeling like that in November, because and some of them could even have legal backgrounds. Some of them could also be spiritual. There's a lot of Aquarius could actually be getting married in November, or getting engaged to be married. And then that comes with a lot of decisions, though, is the thing. And of course it does for anybody, but even more so for this particular case. There could be a lot of complications with the marriage. There could be an issue with a prenuptial agreement. There could be even when I say marriage, this could, as it relates or applies to the Aquarius who are already married. I'm not seeing a lot of energy for divorce, but you guys could kind of be talking casually about that. What would it be like if we did get divorced? And there could be arguments that come up from that. There could be arguments about who gets what, about how you would walk away. And it's not even necessarily that you guys are seriously considering divorce. It's just bringing it up and having that dialogue just to be safe and just to be smart, which is great to do. You never want to experience that blindly. But it could end up that you guys have very different ideas about what a divorce would entail for both of you. Okay, so that's something that's possible for November. Some of you guys could be wanting more space, and Aquarius needs its space. You guys are, all the fixed signs to an extent, need solitude and alone time at times, and like to disconnect from other people. But you guys having the Hermit in your reading, it's very necessary for you in November. It's almost and because you also have the 3 of Cups, which is a very social energy. So the way that I see those two coming together, it's kind of you want to walk back, and you almost want to have a celebration about stepping back and withdrawing, and really getting to come to conclusions about the way that your life is playing out, about the things that you feel that you need in your life, the emotional structures, the financial structures. Structures are the key word with the Hermit. It's a Saturn-ruled sign, so a Saturn-ruled card, excuse me. So you're wanting to go off alone so you can get past all of the clutter. You can get past all of the just the fog of social life, the fog of needs of other people, and you really want to have a dialogue with yourself about what you need, not about what others need. And then you want to celebrate that. You don't really want to stay there. You don't want to be reclusive. Aquarius, I think, is one of the best signs of the zodiac that can really balance the need for solitude without taking that to an unhealthy place and being reclusive. Because you guys still have some amount of social desire, and y'all can be social butterflies as well. And it seems to me, through all of this inner thought, through this time that you take to withdraw, and this time that you take to think about, where you are in your life, you're gonna really come to the conclusion, and I think you may have already come to this conclusion, that you want new beginnings, that you kind of want this to be a transitional period of your life where you get to really kind of take on a new adventure. That's why some of you could be thinking about divorce, Or thinking about marriage, it's kind of either black or white. Like if you're thinking about marriage, you are wanting the new beginning of creating a new life with somebody else. If you're wanting to divorce, it's because you want the new beginning of experiencing solitude, true solitude again. And the universe does want you to be aware that you are protected throughout these choices that you make. So I feel that you guys have a good understanding of what you need, a good understanding of what each process entails. And that's because you have the Hermit there. That's because you've taken time to really think about it. And at the same time, that also tells me that you need to be very calculated in your decision making. Not necessarily calculated in how you present it to other people, but you need to be very calculated and make sure that you've assumed all the risks that marriage entails, that you've assumed all the risks that divorce entails. It's not a very good time to take a leap of faith. Everything needs to be very calculated. Everything needs to be assumed, and everything needs to be thought about. Don't just dive headfirst into marriage. Likewise, do not dive headfirst into divorce. I think that there's also a bit of an emotional evolution happening for the Aquarius. You've got the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So those are both court cards of the cups, which says to me, and they both represent stages of the water element, you know, Page being the youngest and Knight being that middle level. So it's like, and usually a lot of times Aquarius will have a big emotional evolution later in life, usually after the age of 30. That might not seem like later in life to a lot of people, but usually when Aquarius get to be like 30 to 35, they tend to undergo quite the big emotional transformation. So I think that could be another reason that you guys are wanting some time to yourself, because you don't need other people's emotional energy around you, because you really want to know what's authentically your own emotional energy. And that is supported right now, but I think that it's really important that you be clear with your loved ones about this. Like, don't hold it against them for not just knowing that you need this. Like, you have to tell them. Like, it's one thing for people to know what you're going through and still kind of be difficult and still deny you anything that you deserve, like solitude or anything, and it's another thing for them to not know and for you to expect them to know. So try to have a dialogue with people about what you're going through, and then if they don't accept it, then after that you can really, you know, make your choices from there. But it's kind of a nice karmic action to at least try to have that conversation with other people, the ones who of course, and I mean the people in your life who it directly affects, you know. I also feel like this evolution that you guys are about to go through is going to really help kind of bridge some of the questions that you've had about other people from your past. Other people from your past could come back in. And it's going to be quite casual with the Three of Cups there. You might just be going out to drinks with someone from your past. That's a possibility. And it's like through that and through this kind of solitude that you're wanting to experience, you're going to really answer a lot of questions from the past. You know, anything that's kind of gone unanswered, November is going to be a really good time to investigate and delve deeper into the hidden. That's really good for the Hierophant and the Hermit together. There might even be a spiritual aspect of that. You might be seeking help from a spiritual counselor or a medium or something to help answer some of these questions. Maybe they're not questions that have answers in the physical plane, and you're having to really trust that someone with this spiritual connection is giving you a valid type of information. And it's a really good time to have spiritual counseling. It's a good time to cleanse the energy within your home, within yourself. And because through that, there are a lot of questions that will be answered. There are a lot of, I feel that for some of the Aquarius out there watching right now, there are a lot of questions about the past. And Aquarius isn't that past oriented. You know, you're an air sign. So, but of course, every single sign in the zodiac has to face things from their past regardless. Even if you're not too oriented towards that. But that's part of this evolution too that you're going through with the water element, with the cups element in this suit. You are learning to create more of a healthy connection to the past. You're no longer repressing it, but at the same time, you're not kind of having that unhealthy veneration for the past, which is going to be great. And you guys are really going to notice a difference in how you remember things, in how you kind of file all those details, all those energies, how you kind of store them within you. Those evolutions are differences that are going to make themselves very apparent for you guys, and it's going to be I think, really helpful and a great asset to, how you go into the future, because the past and the future are very similar. We just know a little bit more about one than the other. So all that you guys really have to do is just have that moment where you really think about what your momentum is, and you think about like what the future is going to entail given how you're structuring the energies in your life right now. And that's really what November is going to be about for you guys, is understanding that, is drawing that conclusion, like what momentum and trajectory are you creating. So anyway, I think it's going to be a good November overall for you guys. If this reading resonated, you guys can jump over to my shop, which is linked in the description box below. And anyway, I will see you guys, I think, in the mid-month of November with an exciting surprise for my channel. So if you guys want to keep an eye out for that, I'll be looking forward to it. And I hope you guys have a really good November.